Peoples, how is everyone? We're trying to get some things on track. The last 48 hours have been good. No, we ain't. That's the first 48. Okay, the last 48 hours have been decent, and within the next 48 hours, my transition is gonna kick up a few notches. But I did wake up with this really heavy on me, and I think that part of it is because this need I've had for someone to provide me with guidance, with next steps, has been real thick for me lately. And I think that sometimes when there's confusion or chaos in the midst of a transition, you tend to feel as though there has to be some type of direction provided. Because sitting down and figuring it out yourself just ain't working. The mind is not working. It's not coming together for me. I'm not piecing this together right. And so I woke up this morning and my thought process was, what do you do when there's no one? And by no one, I mean, what do you do when there is no teacher? There is no one to adequately guide you. I've I've been struggling with the desires to have a mentor. And I ain't saying jump in my inbox and decide you're going to be my daddy or my mama. That's not what I'm saying. Sit down somewhere. There's several seats. Just have one. Let me get this out. And I've come to understand that just because we've grown don't mean we've learned everything we need to learn. And so there is, when things kick up a few notches for me, as I'm getting older and I'm pouring into other people, there's that need to refuel, and it's big. The need is big for me. And all I keep thinking is there's got to be something out there, someone out there that's going to adequately guide me. And so the next steps thing is where I keep struggling at. You ever come into something and you sitting there like, okay, so what am I supposed to do next? Okay, you gave it to me, but what am I supposed to do with it? And here I am with what God gives me, and I'm sitting here like, so what am I supposed to do with this? It's just how I go to God. That's my daddy. That's Abba. I'm supposed to be able to talk to him like that. I went there. I was in the room and I'm in worship, and I was like, see, you didn't gave this to me. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing with this. How does this work? You're going to have to come down here and sit on this bed and explain this to me. And sometimes for me, I don't know if this happens for y'all, but for me, sometimes God go quiet. Y'all ever had that feeling like he left you? Like you gave me something and then you just up and left. Like, are you next door? What we doing with this? That's where that's where I've gone with this. So I've grown my conversation. Now here's the thing. Y'all got to be careful who you grow your conversation with, okay? So I've grown my conversation with people that are successful. And in a sense, this is kind of like an indirect mentoring type of thing, right? Because these people are successful. There's something I'm supposed to be getting from them. You get what I'm saying? Stay with me, y'all. Make sure y'all click like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel now. So I don't know a whole lot of successful people. Don't put that on me. I don't want y'all sitting here like, she done started learning celebrities. No, I never said that. But the ones that I do know have had the same issue that I've had. This is what we actually have in common, where they felt as though when they first started out that there was no one, and there was like this heavy weight on their shoulders of, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? What's the next step in the business? What's the next step in where I'm going? Is there another job that I'm supposed to be seeking out, and things like that? And so, though it may be lonely, and let me give y'all this because I had to learn the difference. And there's a difference between lonely and solitude. And what I've come to understand is that I spend a whole lot of time in solitude, which is why I don't feel lonely. And while I'm in solitude, and this is something I want you all to get because this bothers me so much. When I'm in solitude, that is when I'm actually in prayer. Yes, I don't care how much you all look at me and be like, but I know she's sin. We all sin and fall short of the glory of God. Let me start with that. But I've also come to know that when I'm in solitude, when I'm in prayer, that is me and God having that conversation. That's not man speaking back to me. That's me and God having that conversation. And what I don't want for people, because this is what I'm finding a lot of, what I don't want is you to develop a belief system when you're on your deathbed. I don't want that for anybody. I don't want you to, I don't care who you pray to. I don't care who you believe in. I'm not here to sell you on any of my beliefs or my faith. But what I don't care for is you on your deathbed and then you saying, pray for me. No, I want you to have that. I don't care if it's Buddha, Allah, God. I don't care if it's a rock. Make sure that your belief system is intact before you come into a bad situation. You understand what I'm saying? I want to put that out there. So I had to learn the difference between being lonely and actually being in solitude, because loneliness can be an illness. And truth be told, some people these days pass away because of loneliness. When there is no one, some people can't handle that. And so I had to really think this whole process through, as far as this lack of support, this lack of guidance. And what I've come to know with the people that I've come to know that are successful is that they go at life with God. They wake up and thank God for the strength and willpower to press forward. And then they do a to-do list and they go to work. Like, there's no such thing as getting up and not being productive if you're looking to be successful. I've learned that, because I done had my lazy days. Y'all better shut y'all mouth. Y'all don't even understand. I think we done all had them. But I've had some lazy days where I sit in front of the computer and I robotically work. And I feel like that in itself can be an illness. When you get to a point in your life where you just work robotically, I think it was Pastor Jamal Bryan who said that you get to a point where you know you could do your job in your sleep. That means God ain't part of it no more. What you asking him for if you got it? And I got to that point where I could do my work in my sleep. So I had to come out of that. It's like, how you going to be successful if you robotic at things? How you being successful if there is no list of things that you feel as though you need to accomplish every day? And how do you consider yourself productive if you don't have a list of things that you need to be producing on a day-to-day basis? I mean, I live with a whole 7-year-old, and waking up with this kid is crazy because she is a whole ball of energy. Like, she wake up and she sees things in beautiful color. Everything is in beautiful color, and she sings when she gets dressed. So here's the thing. I got to take a note out of her book some days because I don't always wake up like that. I don't plan to wake up on the wrong side of the bed, but I don't always wake up thankful and seeing things in beautiful colors and singing and everything. So when she gets up with that energy, I have to feed off of that sometimes. There is absolutely nothing with you feeding off of somebody else's energy. Allow somebody else to be your hype man. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when I done skipped some Wednesdays for my Wake Up the Right Way Wednesday videos, because they were Wednesdays where I got up and it's someone right. I have to actually feel that energy. I don't have it in me to get up and be phony with people. I'm not finna sell y'all on some phony energy. That when I actually do those videos, that is my mood, and it be a whole mood, baby. I got to wake up and feel something in my spirit in order for me to give y'all a song, in order for me to know to give y'all it's gonna be all right. I have to know that in my soul before I can give that to you all. So having this 7-year-old in my house helps me on these days where it just seemed like things is busted at the seams. And I blog, I vlog, I work a full-time job. I wasn't meaning for that to rhyme, but that was cute. But nobody really calls my phone. Like, I don't have a whole busy day where the phone is ringing off the hook and I'm doing this and that and all this other stuff. That's not what my productivity looks like. The bulk of my communications is work emails and family text. And I think we all know that to a certain degree, you want the family to tone down their needs for the day. And at the end of the day, by the time you done communicated 50 million emails between 50 million people at work, you exhausted. So I had to come to understand that this is not divine. This does not define productivity. Some of us is getting this confused. Just because your phone is ringing off the hook does not make it a productive day, especially if you got Toxic people coming through them emails and their phones, baby. Toxic people find a way through. You got to be careful. You got to be mindful of what it looks like and what it sounds like. I'm just saying. But I've also come to understand that incoming communication does not necessarily mean open doors. I have to get up and I have to communicate out. Stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. I got to put in a word for myself. I got to make some calls for myself. A productive day for me means crossing 2 things off of my list. And here's the thing. When you somebody who aspires to be successful, your list is not as simple as walking the dog. You don't get to cross that off a list, baby. No. There is probably a job looming somewhere. You can smell it in the midst. You're supposed to sit down and make time out to apply for that job. Make time to send the resume. That's what productive people are doing. We don't make lists that are not tied to game changers. You got to have something on that list that's going to change the game, baby. Come on now. Something on there is going to change the trajectory of where you're supposed to be headed. Come on now. Networking. We have to understand. This is all tied to networking. When there is no one, you increase your network. Let me say it again. Because what I woke up with, what do you do when it seems like there is no one? If it seems like there's no one, increase your network. Get up. Be productive. Make the calls. I'm going to tell you all right now, LinkedIn is like the Facebook for employment. Like, people are actually on there looking to see what your skill set is, what your accomplishments are, what it is that you're experienced in, how long people are actually looking for you on here. There are people that are looking to collaborate with people as far as certain businesses go. Increase your own network when it seems like there's nobody. Increase your circle. Let's get some professional people in under this umbrella of life with you, so that you're not looking at life as if there is no one. You might need to do a better job at checking in on people. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I had to experience this and understand how I created this. When you check on people, people check on you. So even if you just jot down 2 people, this is part of your productivity. Even if you just jot down 2 people, it may be a cousin you ain't talked to in a while. It may be an old coworker you used to work with. Check on people, and just after you were on my mind, I just decided to check in. And what ends up happening is that these people, within a few weeks, decide they want to call you. Now, there is someone, because you have people actually checking in on you, and it gives you a warm and fuzzy feeling. Now, I don't know if y'all I like the warm and fuzzy feeling. That's just me. And then lastly, I think that you all need to make sure you take care of your business. And by your business, I mean you. Make sure your health is on point. If you ain't had a checkup and you know you need one, that's supposed to be on your list of productive things. If you one of those people that sit in front of the computer all day and don't take a lunch, take a lunch. You never know who you might meet when you go pick that sandwich up. Go take the car to get a car wash or oil change, get some gas. You never know who you might meet. Open yourself up to receiving new people. I think it was Matthew Stevenson. He said, this is the year of the stranger. I received that. Where there is no one, you can always create space for there to be someone if you show up as someone in somebody else's life. I love you all, and I will see you next video.